Hi, welcome to week 1 of Communications, Technologies and Practices. Susan here again. Hi, welcome to week 1 of Communications, Technology and Practices, take 2. Now, if this is your first comms subject, we will be actually looking at how communication theories are used to explain and understand the technological advancements in society and how it influences society, or whether society's behavior influences technology, or maybe how things change based on cultural and mass society behavior. So it's not a technical subject. If you're wondering, I hope the Moodle has provided you with some guidance to that understanding. Now, a few broad concepts just to be shared in our first lecture video. We're going to be looking at what is communication. If you've done your sort of other units, you will know the sender message receiver model. Now, if you've done the reading as well for this week, it is quite a simple model called the process model. So it's really linear. Sender sends a message, you receive it. There are advantages and disadvantages to that model, so please feel free to go and explore in the reading, or if you're listening to our clip. I hope you do. It gives you an idea on what the pros and cons of that model. It also helps you to have a broader understanding, in-depth understanding, so that when you are justifying your points in your essays, in your reflection papers, or even doing your video for your assessment 1, it helps to give you a bit more meat to your content. Now, the process model has its, for me, it is missing the cultural literacy, and I think that's already pointed out in the readings. Cultural literacy involves the understanding of how communication doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens with context. That means it is influenced by certain things called as they'll be influenced by class, it will be influenced by gender, it will be influenced by the knowledge of a particular topic by the sender and receiver itself. So take, for example, I'm sending you a message via this video lecture. How you receive it, what you receive may be different from what I intend to send, and that is influenced by, say, even this medium. Maybe the connection is good or bad, or what you know already about communication, what is your perception, how you perceive me as a lecturer, or perhaps influenced by your surroundings, your education system, your ideology basically. So it doesn't exist in a vacuum. So just keep in mind when you are discussing examples of communication, there are so many other factors happening than just a direct message being sent, received in the same form as when it was sent. So that's one aspect that we will be discussing in our examples for the assessments and in tutorials, of course. I hope you bring some up. That way we can help dissect and help everyone understand what it means to communicate with some cultural literacy. Now, the other thing we will be doing is the concept of audiences. This will be discussed a little later in the semester, but just so you know that you are the audience for this video at the moment, and we will be looking at whether you are a passive audience. Are you an active audience? Do you actually take part in this process here? Will you send me a message, or will you just sit and listen passively? So that is also, again, influenced by your own understanding of how you receive lectures, your own understanding of what you know about communication. So that is another broad concept we will be discussing later in the SEM. But let me just draw you to an immediate two concepts of technological determinism versus social determinism. This will be gone through in detail in week 2, and it will be the basis of your first assessment. So you'll be doing some partner work in your first assessment, and you'll be discussing these two polar positions. Are we, as a society, determining the outcome of certain social change? As a society, do we gather, say we're in a political rally, together as a society, together as a group of people, we push for policy change? Is that how society behaves? Or has technology determined the outcome of social change? For instance, has technology made it easier to vote as a citizen? Has it made it easier to learn new skills? Has that skills contribute to upward mobility for somebody who's in a working class to middle class? So these are just some of the points you can start considering as you work through your week and you work for your first assessment. So nothing again exists in that value. There's no right or wrong in terms of the positions. You don't have to staunchly believe in one and then reject the other. If you do, you have your convictions and justifications. If you don't, you're open to argument. So just taking a look at that those factors in our unit this semester. So basically that's quite a really broad overview of how technology has really changed the way we behave. It changes the concept of time. It changes the space, because you can be anywhere in the world right now and I could be just talking to you via video cam. So it just changes that concept. It's not really strictly linear anymore. It's strictly in a particular plane of motion. It is really quite disrupted with technology. Consider that when you are exploring your relationships, exploring your examples for your assessments. Just a reminder, please, if you can, join the Discord group and just look out for announcements there, and we can have our discussions on how to move forward with this unit. So you know where to reach us. Drop a line anytime, and I hope to see you in the tutorials later this week. Bye bye.